The Octagon is not just in Las Vegas anymore. Nope, guys, it's also in your hands. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. Get ready, because remember, Rob faces off against John in a rematch at UFC 323. Every punch, every takedown, every finish, every attempt has the potential to pay off for you in real time. New customers can turn $5 into $200 if your bet wins, paid instantly in bonus bets. And hey, Missouri, the wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. Stay in on the action and use your bonus bets in DraftKings same-game parlays. This gives you a shot at an even bigger payout. Do you love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has you covered. Bet live on star player props and in-progress games right as they happen. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. When you do, use the promo code SONNEN. That's code SONNEN to turn $5 in bets into $200 in bonus bets if your pick wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Amanda versus Kayla. Where are you guys at on this? I got to tell you, the timeline has been, it's been interesting for me. When these two ladies squared off, all right, this is the night Kayla defeats Julianna Peña. So where were we? Out in Salt Lake City. Still coming up, got Alex Pereira getting ready to take on his big next opponent. And I will tell you, Khalil Roundtree, name slipped my mind. So Amanda ends up getting in the ring and she faces off with Kayla. All right. This was interesting. It was interesting because was it sincere? And had this taken place in Las Vegas, I'd have said no. The number one thing that added to the sincerity of Amanda wanting to fight was the fact that she flew out to Salt Lake to do this. That was the number one thing that was most believable about this. But I want you to make sure that you hold that thought. It's very relevant for later on. So, Kayla defeats Julianna. Amanda faces off. Now, when are we going to get that fight and where? Very first question. Go to the press conference, that's exactly what they get asked. I had spoke with Kayla the evening in question. I happened to be at the airport with Amanda the following morning. I'll just tell you, as you look at them and you assess them and start to think, hey, who's in shape and who's training? Kayla just got done competing, right? So she gets a perfect 10 in that category. But being around Amanda, that was my takeaway as well, is she is very fit. She has been working very hard. And that is the single most important piece, or there's no point in doing this fight. As much as people love to retell the story of Amanda the Great, and I appreciate that, but Amanda worked out at the American Top Team. Kayla came into the American Top Team. Amanda left the American Top Team. You don't leave somewhere that you're queen when your throne isn't being questioned, right? And Amanda finally spoke about that. And she thought it was more of a attention issue, but what she's really talking about is momentum. She could feel the momentum of her team, the team that she led, that she was the queen of, the coaches and the workout partners, and they were there for her, starting to shift and starting to be there and looking to and looking towards a future reign by Kayla. And it hurt her feelings above everything else. That's fine. That's normal. I've seen this many times. But what you must understand, if Amanda was beating Kayla that day, she wouldn't have left. The day that she packed her bag, if she was beating her that day, she wouldn't have left. Now, does that mean that she was losing to her? No, not necessarily. There's actually a third option, which is the goes are harder than they used to be. The trading back and forth is more competitive than it used to be. So it doesn't necessarily mean that Amanda was getting beat for Amanda to leave. It means that it was trending towards Amanda getting beat for Amanda to leave. Now, you're going to have to trust me on this, and I realize that part of the story is unlikely to be told. But I could tell you 20 other stories just like this, and they're all the exact same, which is whether Amanda had been dethroned or it was just trending towards her being dethroned. She got out of there, and it was very obvious that Kayla was going to be next for Amanda. She said, I'm good. Call it a career. Now, Amanda, to my understanding, never rejoined a team. As a matter of fact, she now is the team. My understanding, Amanda and Nina, and I know this was factually correct a year ago. I'm assuming it's still true because I haven't heard differently. Nina and Amanda had opened their own gym, so now they're going to be running it. They decide what the practice times are. They decide what the practices are. They decide who coaches there and who trains there. And I'll only share with you, that is a huge concern for me. All the greats have a coach, no exception. Jordan, LeBron, Mayweather, Serena, Tiger, all the greats have a coach. And there's been a number of greats who have then decided that they will coach themselves. And that never works. And you can't offer me an example where it has. That is a one-way path. Somebody else will decide when practice starts. Somebody else decides when it's over. They decide what you're going to do. They decide when you've had enough. And my concern is that the story that was true a year ago about Amanda and Nina having their own spot in their own location and bringing in their own people, if that is true, she just simply won't be able to go 5 rounds with Kayla Harrison. It's a conditioning issue in front of everything else. Your number one thing you are not able to do as your own coach is to push yourself. That's the absolute number one thing. You might understand that you need help with your jab, and you might bring in a guy that's good at helping you with your jab. The number one thing that you can't do is to push yourself. And that's where 5 rounds with Kayla becomes relevant. Now, the big pushback of this fight, this is a personal beef, largely. This is between them. If they choose to tell that story, and Amanda's got it, and Kayla knows it too, if they choose to tell us that story, they got a really big fight here. But I don't think that they're going to. I can tell you when it was Surreal and Francis in the exact same spot. Both of them had reached main events. Both of them had reached championship glory. There's one title. They're going to fight over it. They used to be teammates. They used to be workout partners. They're coaches now in one of their corners. Neither of them said a word. And the pay-per-view sucked. It was awful. And it cost both of those guys 7 figures. I don't think Amanda and Kayla are going to do any different. And the reason that I bring this to you and the reason that it's relevant is there's a pushback that they are a co-main event. We'll finish that thought. If they're not a co-main event, where should they be? 3rd down? 4th down? Open the pay-per-view? I'll listen to you. But finish your thought. Oh, you thought they should go the other way. You thought they shouldn't be co-main event. They should be main event. You're insane. You're insane. And I'm going to go back to the way that this fight was made. This fight was made after Kayla won the title in Salt Lake City over Julianna. Amanda jumped in the ring. That was a co-main event spot. So when Amanda jumped in the ring, she built a co-main event fight. I don't want to hear any about your undisputed and your weight class. Shut up. You sound stupid. A co-main eventer got called out in a co-main event spot. Of course they're fighting in a co-main event.